Hi students, today our topic is arbitration, transaction and interrupt mechanisms. So we are going to see about the three different topics in this bus system. What are those means arbitration, and second topic is transaction, and third topic is interruption mechanisms. So let us see the first topic. Arbitration. Arbitration is a process of selecting the next bus master. Okay, so it is a process of initiating or establishing the next bus communication, right? So this is what the meaning of arbitration. There are two types of arbitrations are associated with this type. What are those means? Central arbitration. Second one is distributed arbitration. Okay, so let us see the topics one by one. Central arbitration. It uses a central arbiter. Okay, so it uses the central arbiter. Fine. So it uses the central arbiter. The potential masters are arranged like a cascaded manner in daisy chained arrangement. Okay, so it is daisy chained in a cascaded way. Right? Allocation is based on a fixed property. Okay, so allocation of the processes is based on the fixed property which are arranged in a daisy chained order from left to right. Okay, from the left to right it will travel, and it has a fixed priority scheduling algorithms, right? So what are those advantages means? It is flexible, simplicity and additional devices can be added, right? So it is flexible. First of all, it is flexible and it has a simple architecture, and additional devices can be added anywhere in the daisy chain. Okay, so the scalability is good here. Then disadvantages, because of its fixed property sequence, it may violate the effectiveness and efficiency, right? And it will be slow in propagating the bus ground signal along the daisy chain. So the bus ground signal is one signal is used, so it will be slow in processing the bus ground signal. So these two are the disadvantages felt in the central arbitration system. Right? So we will have the one diagram here. So first diagram shows how this central bus arbitration is working. Here the central bus arbiter is one of the unit, and it is connected with number of masters. Masters are nothing but it is the number of processes. So starting from master 1 to master n is connected. There are three important signals to be noted down here. What are those means? First one is BG, bus grant. Second one is BR, bus request, and third one is BB, bus busy. Okay, so first is bus grant signal. What will do means it only initiates the communication from the central arbiter to the processor. Okay, so once the bus grant signal is sent from central bus arbiter to all of its masters, then master 1 wants to initiate the communication, means that at that time master 1 is called as a potential master. So how it is known as potential master means it will send a bus request signal to the arbiter. Okay, so it will generate a one bus request signal, and it is sent to the bus arbiter. Once at the slave side the bus is ready, means that, that at that time the bus is free to access with the potential master, means then it will be bus busy signal. That means the communication will be started. If it is not free, or if it is not enabled for its communication, means at that time bus busy signal will be sent to its each master. Okay, bus busy is one signal when at a given time the bus is allocated and it is processing its other operation, means at that time bus busy signal will be generated to the generated from the bus arbiter to the corresponding masters. Okay, so this is what done in this architectural wise. So here you can able to see the number of processors, and it will be connected with the one centralized data transfer bus, that is DTB bus. Fine. So this is the architectural diagram. See below how the transaction timing is maintained here means, here the first bus request signal is lower to triggered to lower. So at that time bus grant signal will be enabled to high. Then bus busy will be a generator. So during the bus busy time only that data transfer will be happening. Once the bus busy is lower to triggered to lower, then bus grant signal is also triggered to lower. At that time bus request will be enabled. Fine. So this is what happening in the central bus organization, but it feels some disadvantages here. Then what happens, what is the another one variations evolved means, instead of processing a single and common bus request signal and bus grant signal, there will be a separate and dedicated lines are established for its each processor to send a individual status about the bus request and bus grant signal. So that's what, there are two separate signals are added in this assembly. It shows the bus request signal and bus grant signal. These two signals are dedicated for its each processor, respective processor. Say for example, for master 1 means BR1 is the bus request signal for master 1. BG1 is the bus grant signal for master 1. Then similarly for up to n number of masters are connected means, there will be a separate dedicated two lines are associated for its each masters. Okay, so this is the variations they have made, but still some disadvantages are happened in this central arbitration, because it is shared with the n number of processors. So that's what distributed arbitration is another one concept have been evolved. So here each master is having its own arbiter. Okay, instead of keeping one centralized arbiter, here each master is equipped with his own arbiter, and each arbiter is identify its unique arbitration number. Okay, so there is a one unique arbitration number is assigned for its each arbiter. So that's what how it will be referred means, by using the unique arbitration number, the corresponding masters and its arbiter is referenced. I will show the diagram. Here this shows the a distributed arbitration scheme. Here n number of masters are connected. So instead of keeping a centralized arbiter unit, here each master is having its own small arbiter unit, and it's having its own dedicated bus grant signal, bus busy signal also, and one more signal line is connected that shows the arbitration number. AN is nothing but arbitration number. So this number has to be identified in processor side, and also it should be referenced at the data transfer bus also. Okay, so that's what AN is given. AN is nothing but arbitration number. Right. So here master 1 is having arbiter 1 unit, master 2 is having arbiter 2 unit. Similarly master n is having arbiter n unit. The remaining concepts are same. So instead of keeping a single arbiter unit, there is a dedicated arbiter unit is connected to each processor, right? So that's what it is shown here. Each master can send a arbitration number to shared bus request or grant line. So that line is called as SBRG, shared bus request or grant line, on the arbitration bus via their respective arbiters, right? So each arbiter compares the resulting number in the SBRG lines with its own arbitration number, right? It will be compared. If the SBRG number is greater, then the request is dismissed, because it should go from the fixed priority based from left to right. So which master 1 is arranged at the left end means master 1 is having the most priority, master n is having the least priority. So if the master n wants to access means that arbitration number is compared. See, because of its least priority, that request is rejected. So that's what it has its priority based line, right? Then multi bus 2 and fixed future bus plus adopted, these two schemes are adopted in a distributed arbitration scheme, right? I hope you understand this concept. I will catch you in the next video about next topic. Thank you.